Jeremy here, and welcome back to another review. Today we're going to be reviewing Devil May Cry 5. Now, if you guys didn't catch what I said in my Gears of War review, I'm basically going back and playing a bunch of games that I've either A, never played before, or B, just replaying because I feel like it. And Devil May Cry 5 is one of those games. I did originally play it, I played it in 2020. I think it came out in 2019, I do believe, but I did play it in 2020. And yeah, I'm going to be giving my review basically in 2024 after playing it for a second time. And yeah, give you what I think about the game. Now, I will say this is going to be a very positive review, but we'll get into that later. If you guys love video games, Capcom, Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, indie, third party, whatever, consider subscribing, share with your friends. This is the place to be if you love video games like me, and I appreciate any support you guys give me, especially the support on this video right here. But let's get talking about Devil May Cry. Now, you already know Capcom is my GOAT, all right? Capcom is currently my favorite publisher out there. Xbox is my favorite company. Xbox, I've just always been an Xbox guy, but Capcom is my favorite publisher, especially when it comes to third party. And personally, I think they are the best publisher out right now. They just keep on delivering quantity and quality through and through. And Devil May Cry 5 came out right around the time where I feel like things started to change for them. I feel like Resident Evil 7 was kind of the start. I feel like they completely switched the Resident Evil formula, and people absolutely love 7, and then they released like Mega Man 11, and then they released Devil May Cry 5. They were bringing back a bunch of things and just delivering quality, as well as Resident Evil remakes. They started doing that. So, and then Monster Hunter World. Like I said, this was around the time where Capcom really started to turn the tide of where they were going, because for a while they were in a really, really bad state. But Devil May Cry 5 is absolutely fantastic. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. It is absolutely fantastic. In my opinion, it's absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love this game. I will say this is probably, I'd have to check my official list here real quick, but I'm pretty sure it's probably my favorite hack and slash maybe ever. I can't exactly think. If you count God of War, then I guess you could say that. If you count Immortals Phoenix Rising, you could say that. But in a true action hack and slash game, I do think Devil May Cry 5 is probably one of my favorites. I just absolutely love the characters. I love the gameplay. I love the music. I love the story. I love the world. I love just everything Devil May Cry 5 has to offer. And yeah, it's probably now my favorite Capcom franchise after replaying it, because I loved this game when I first played it. I thought this game was absolutely awesome. But I didn't realize how much I actually loved it until I replayed it recently, because what I found is I actually really love these characters. And after playing a lot more hack and slash games, because I played this game before I played a lot of other things. I've played so many new things since originally playing Devil May Cry 5. And that's part of my reason for going back and replaying a bunch of games, is I've played so many more games since then, and I've just gotten so much more into gaming since I originally played the game, that I might have a whole new perspective. And that's absolutely what happened with Devil May Cry 5. I realized I genuinely loved this gameplay. I genuinely love these characters, and I genuinely love just what the franchise of Devil May Cry 5, or just Devil May Cry, has to offer in terms of quality and all the aspects of a video game. So let's break it down one by one. And if you're going to be talking about an action hack and slash game, you got to talk about the gameplay. And in my opinion, this is personally my favorite hack and slash gameplay. I think the depth and the systems within Devil May Cry 5 are so immensely awesome and rich and developed. I don't really think any other hack and slash compares in terms of how layered is it, how engaging is it, how actual thought-provoking is the gameplay. And Devil May Cry 5 is just at the top of that list. There are so many things to do and so many different things to learn in this game. It's almost like a fighting game in a way, where you have to move your joysticks in certain directions to do certain inputs and commands. You can make insane combos, but then layer that upon like multiple different systems. You have the I forget exactly what they called it, but the mechanical arm ability. As Dante, you have like 12 different weapons with 4 different fighting styles each. As V, you have a completely unique fighting style where you're not even using like yourself. You're using summons. You're using these whatever, I forget what they call them. Again, I'm not good with words, but you use these animals to fight for you. And there's so many meters, the devil meter, the purple meter, I forget what the devil's gauge or whatnot. There's so many different systems and just things working in the background, working in the forefront, working everywhere within the gameplay. There's a lot of different skill trees. There's a lot of customization. The platforming is just simple. I will say the movements and the jumping around and stuff, I think, are the worst part. Sometimes the camera angle can get a little bit wonky, but when it comes to the gameplay and the combat itself, it's just peak. It's just peak, and it's just absolutely phenomenal, and it knocks it out of the park for what is an awesome action hack and slash game. And mix that with what we're going to go to next. I'm just going to jump straight to it because I absolutely love it. The music. Mix that with epic music, epic rock music, epic just dance music, whatever. This game cooks. It feels so exhilarating. It feels so exhilarating playing through this game. It feels super exciting getting to a boss fight. It feels super engaging playing through every single mission, just laying waste to tons and tons of enemies. It is so fun. And that's what I'm gonna go to next. The missions and the story and just the way this game is structured. Now, this game is structured like if you've played a Bayonetta game. It's structured like that. There is no linear path you go through the whole game. No, the games are separated into missions and levels themselves. I believe there's 20 levels in the game. If you don't include the prologue, then I think there's 21 if you include the prologue. But the game is structured with missions and levels. So every mission, depending on how you did, you'll get ranked. I think F to S or something like that. And I personally really enjoy this format. I will say I'm not a big fan of Bayonetta 3, but the gameplay and just the way the game is formatted was my favorite part about the game. And now we have Devil May Cry 5, and it does pretty much the same thing. And yeah, it just absolutely works. It makes it where no mission is really, really long. No mission is really, really short. Every mission, the pacing is superb all the way through the whole game because of these missions. And I think that really helps a game like this. Because with a game like this, a big concern might be repetitiveness, because I mean it's just straight action, nonstop action-packed game. And if you don't have a good enough gameplay loop, which fortunately Devil May Cry 5 has, it can get a little bit repetitive. That was my issue with something like Final Fantasy 16, per se, is while it's a really, really fun gameplay and it looks really, really cool, it just got very repetitive because the gameplay wasn't very deep. There wasn't much to it. And that is my biggest pro for having a mission-based system, is it does help with that repetitiveness, because then you can add a lot of variety to these missions, which I do think Devil May Cry 5 does as well. Every mission, you're ending with a different boss that plays entirely different. Every mission, you're learning new enemies. You're learning new fighting techniques. Absolutely brilliant. Visually, this game is stunning. I mean, this game is ahead of its time. One of my friends, Austin, he told me that, and he's absolutely right. You know, I played it back in 2019. In 2019, I was like, yo, this game looks phenomenal. But in 2024, it still looks phenomenal. So he was kind of cooking with that statement. It does feel like it was ahead of its time. Granted, it's only like 5 years old now, so it's not like super ahead of its time. But it does seem like, man, in 2019, this must have been insane. And so I do have to say, the visuals are just great. When it comes to character models, when it comes to graphics, when it comes to just special effects, when it comes to lighting, all of it just rocks. It just rocks. It just rules. It's spectacular to look at. And then that leads us to story. Now, what I will say is I do feel the story isn't amazing. I don't love, for say, the story. The best part of the story is the characters. Dante, V, and Neo and all the other side characters. Even the I forget her name again. The lady who builds you the arm, who drives the van. She's an awesome character as well. And then of course you have Virgil. And that whole storyline. I think the whole premise is fine. It's fine. It's not a bad story by any means. I just don't think it excels in terms of story. It is your classic. There's a big bad who's invading, who controls an army. You have to basically take down the big bad. And plot twist. I'm not gonna spoil the game, but the big bad ends up having a little bit more meaning than you may have thought. So I do think this story is solid, but where the story really thrives is the characters. Neo is easily my favorite character in the game. I think, number one, his gameplay is my favorite, and then his just character arc and his personality is my favorite. Absolutely love Neo. Dante's obviously awesome. Absolute icon in just gaming in general. And V's really, really cool. I will say V's gameplay I really enjoyed. I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of V, but I found him really cool. But yeah, I think when you take a lot of story beats and you take a lot of cool action moments and you take some really likable characters and put it in a simple plot, put it in a simple conflict where, big bad controls an army, gotta stop him. It works. It works well, especially for a game like this. Mix that with awesome music, awesome gameplay, awesome visuals. It just creates a really, really great product, and that's what I have to say about Devil May Cry 5. It is absolutely a must-play game, in my opinion, if you at all like hack and slash or action games, or even just like Capcom. And I absolutely want a Devil May Cry 6 now. I wanted one to begin with, but now, the moment that is announced, easily one of my most anticipated games locked in. But you guys let me know what you think of Devil May Cry 5 in the comment section down below. For me, I am going to go ahead and give this, I'm not going to give it a 10, but I am going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. But I am going to give it S tier. I do think it is an S tier game, but I am going to give it 9.5. It is just absolutely phenomenal game. There are definitely a few things they could do to make it a 10 out of 10. But in terms of a hack and slash action game, it's top of the class to me. 9.5 out of 10, S tier game. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think down below. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Giant out. Peace.